All right, let's get you now a live update from Colombo. Pramod Madhav, who's been reporting for the last many days on the protests in Sri Lanka, is joining us live this morning. Pramod, good morning. I'm sure there's a bit of restlessness right now in Colombo. President Rajapaksa has managed to leave from Sri Lanka, but no resignation yet.
Well, good morning, Akshita. We are currently at the President's Secretariat and the situation remains the way it was yesterday and day before yesterday. But the only difference is that today is D-Day and these are Sri Lankans from Colombo and various areas who are waiting, eagerly waiting, even though there has been information that the President has already left the country and his resignation has been handed over to the Speaker. They are eagerly waiting for the announcement to be made, and this has been the situation because already you could see that so many people have come over, they have occupied the place. Their one and only demand is for the resignation of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, which apparently was stalled and several informations were given, but it looks like the main reason he wanted to not resign until, not his resignation be announced until 13th July was that to make sure his family gets a safe passage. Earlier, he stated that it is because of transition of power, but it only looks like he wanted to save his life and his family's life and leave the island nation. And finally, it looks like he has succeeded because we got information that around 3 a.m. yesterday, he has left the country. He has left to Maldives. This after unable to leave the country from the airport where the immigration officials did not agree and did not cooperate, forcing him to actually take a military jet and leave for Maldives, from where he's also expected to leave to a Middle East country. But for now, even after all this, the Sri Lankans are patiently waiting for the announcement that he has resigned. Gotabaya Rajapaksa has resigned because they believe that whatever the island is facing currently is because of his ill policies that has led to so much price rise and everything. And that's the reason everybody from Colombo and the surrounding areas are still coming over. This is one form of them showing solidarity towards the protesters who have still occupied the government institutions. In fact, on the background you could see the President's Secretariat, where the public and the protesters are still sitting on the stairs and they are awaiting for the announcement. And such is the day Sri Lanka has woken up to the D-Day, Akshita.
Information we're getting from Pramod, it is that the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, his wife, as well as 2 security officials have fled from Sri Lanka in that military jet. There were a lot of challenges when his younger brother had in fact tried to leave. Immigration officials had stopped him, but for Gotabaya Rajapaksa, he's taken a military jet out, so didn't face any problem. Another big update is that the Indian High Commission has put out a statement categorically denying baseless and speculative media reports. I'm reading out of the statement that India facilitated the recent reported travel of Gotabaya Rajapaksa out of Sri Lanka. It's reiterated that India will continue to support the people of Sri Lanka as they seek to realize the aspirations of prosperity and progress through democratic means and values. So the Indian High Commission in Colombo ruling out any role that India has to play in helping Gotabaya Rajapaksa flee from Sri Lanka. We're very clear and maintaining that we are with the people of Sri Lanka. This comes after some media reports did try to suggest that India played a crucial role in helping the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, actually flee from Sri Lanka. The Indian High Commission, therefore, has put forth this particular statement. Pramod, as we put out details of the Indian High Commission statement, as far as Gotabaya Rajapaksa and, him moving to Maldives is concerned, there's a lot of speculation he could be heading to Dubai. He's ensured safe passage for him and his wife at this point. 2 days back, when his younger brother Basil Rajapaksa tried to leave, he was stopped by immigration officials. There was an all-out rebellion against him too. But for Gotabaya Rajapaksa, it's been a very smooth exit because he's used his executive powers essentially to ensure it's done.
Well, that is true, Akshita, and one thing is very clear that after we spoke to several Sri Lankans here, they believe that in this time of struggle, in this time of crisis, it was actually India that has helped them by far by providing them with food and medicine, and they are very much actually accepting the fact that India has played a very important role in supporting them, and that too in the form of providing fuel as well, and they are very thankful to that also. So for now, nobody here is blaming, and even if we say that India tried to provide a safe passage, most of the Sri Lankans here will not believe that fact because they knew that at the time of crisis, it was actually India that actually provided them with food, fuel and medicine. At the same time, there are two kind of like speculations at this point, because on one side, though the politicians and the bureaucrats are talking about transition of power to make sure that all these government institutions work properly and the price is brought under control, the commoners actually believe that the family of Rajapaksa is completely corrupt and they are responsible for whatever is happening in the island nation. In fact, most of the protesters who are behind us talking to the public through this loudspeakers and such, they only claim that whatever resource the Rajapaksas have acquired so far in the form of fund, in the form of money and various other properties, that should be brought back, that should be taken back by the country. So this is also a kind of demand that has been kept by the protesters, and that's the reason they are angry to know that the president has left the country. So that way, that anger is also there. But for now, the important thing that they want to hear is the resignation. So they are awaiting for that also, Akshita.
Does it look like there's a delay on that front, Pramod? I see many reactions on social media where people are questioning why he hasn't resigned yet. He's been given safe passage. He's out of Sri Lanka. So what's with the delay right now? What we're also hearing is that there's no copy of the resignation letter given to the Speaker or the Prime Minister yet.
Well, Akshita, it looks like even though Rajapaksa has stated that Gotabaya would resign, he definitely is wielding a lot of power, especially within the military. Because when we ask them that how come the public, when they are protesting and they have occupied government institutions, how come the Rajapaksa family, there is no knowledge about where they are? Several people here very clearly stated that there are so many military places. Earlier, the Rajapaksa family, Mahinda Rajapaksa's family was at Trikonmali. So that way there are so many military bases where they could say, and the brigadiers and senior generals here are still in favor of Gotabaya, and that's the reason nobody could actually find out where he was. Now, as he has left the country, the actual kind of explanation was provided earlier was transition of power. Even Ranil Wickremesinghe says that he will only resign after that power transition. For now, it looks like he might be appointed as the president from the parliament, and for at least 3 months period, he will continue until the elections are held and the new president is elected. But it looks like even all this being said, the main reason, just like you mentioned, is for him to actually stay until power until 13th, is that to make sure that his family and he could escape from the island nation, because here the public, the mob are really angry, and we saw what their anger could lead to on 9th of July, and it definitely has shaken up Rajapaksa's, Gotabaya Rajapaksa's conscience, Akshita.
With him fleeing now out of Sri Lanka and no resignation in sight just yet, Pramod, what's the mood on the ground? Has it led to more agitations? Has it led to more protests in Colombo? Or are people waiting now, saying we'll wait for a couple of hours to see what happens?
Well, Akshita, this is what the mood in the country looks like. I'm very clearly showing you. They are people from Colombo, from Sri Lanka, waiting eagerly, patiently. Everyone having their national flag in their hands. They are hungry, they are sleepless, but they are waiting over here, occupying the government buildings, because all they want is a resignation of, at least the announcement of the resignation of Gotabaya. That actually earlier the speaker said that he has acquired the resignation and he will actually make the announcement on 13th. So this is the D-Day, and here you could see tired, hungry Sri Lankans and eagerly waiting for their president to resign. And this is the mood of Sri Lanka on D-Day, Akshita.
Okay, Pramod, thank you for getting us all of those details.